has been made in Canadian basketball. One hand down, all over the defense.
One-hand talkback.
Oh! Bringing the fans to their feet, putting a man in the rim.
And that was it! Oh my Lord!
Welcome to the NPA on NPH.
Welcome to the nation's capital. National Preparatory Associations battling the capital. It is day 3. It is Elias and yours truly, Tariq Spay, on the call. We have GTA Prep and RNS out of New Brunswick for breakfast. Elias, we've been through it now for the last 2 days, watching a lot of high-level basketball, some tight games, and some buzzer beaters, as well as some blowout wins. Recap us to where we're at right now.
Well, I think Notre Dame's really, coming in from Saskatchewan and made their presence felt here. 7-0 now on the season. 4-0 in league play. And this is a team to be reckoned with. What we're seeing right now from them, Central Tech, a bunch of the returning teams, is everyone has all eyes set on national championship. And from Canada Top Flight standpoint, they're right where they left off. The defending champs are in position to repeat. It is very, very possible that they can repeat. Now with some of the newer teams, SJK and others, with the exception of Crestwood is right there contending as well.
Yeah, no question. CTA looked great yesterday in their first game here in Ottawa. Beat BC Christian by about 20 plus. And, they're executing. They got some new bodies. Another new body to the league is Casey Azagu, as that last possession by RNS. Shaheem Malcolm, also a newcomer to the league, knocked down the triple. Here's Kellen Tynes, national champion with Team Nova Scotia. Here's Casey Azagu. To Houghton for 3. Yup. And GTA Prep has now taken the lead 5-3. Tynes, Sutherland.
Now you'll notice that GTA Prep is starting without their star player, AJ Lawson. That is a result of a 1-game suspension due to 2 technicals that were assessed yesterday. Now about those technicals, Tariq, we talk about this coast to coast about refereeing having to be improved, and the only way to improve is as a result of refereeing higher level games, and that's what has come to the nation's capital. And overall, what do you think about the ruling on that?
Well, I think it's after we reviewed it through video, it's pretty clear that when it comes to Lawson, he didn't deserve those technicals. Possibly one was arguable, but I think the biggest takeaway out of this, and this is true, I think, across Canada when it comes to the referee situation, it's about dialogue. It's about being able to have a conversation with full transparency. For the sake of betterment, for the betterment of the game, for the betterment and improvement, versus being a little bit one-sided in the situation. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we offer these student athletes the very best,
and we want to do right by these kids.
That's what it comes down to.
And it doesn't matter who that player is. In this particular situation, it just happened to be AJ Lawson,
who's the #1 player in the country. But that, if it was anybody else, it should be consistent across the board, and that's what it's about.
Yeah. Now, just to give some perspective on the first technical for AJ, his momentum took him, and he was going for a dunk attempt, and he swung one way with momentum. Now, had he let go of the rim, would have fell directly on his back and potentially, had a major injury. In that case, he hung on to check who was behind him and landed. In the second one, some may argue it was rightfully assessed, others not so much. But the matter of the fact is, the kid should not have been fouled out.
So GTA Prep is without the #1 player in the nation, but that does not mean they got one of that doesn't mean they don't have one of the best big men in the country in Casey Azagu. Joshua Houghton, a budding star in the league, Tristan Lindo.
Don't forget DeAndre Pierre.
DeAndre Reddick and DeAndre Pierre. Reddick out of Nova Scotia. And Pierre, of course, a returner to the league. Tied up at 5 early on. 7 minutes in the first quarter. Any specific standouts so far? I know I got a couple names on my breakout list, but has anyone stood out for you so far, Elias?
Yeah, I think from last night, Raheem Sullivan. You know, his speed in the game and his ability to change it up is something that a lot of teams can't handle. You never know when it's coming. You never know when he's going to pass, when he's going to pull up and float, when he's going to, you know, shoot the three. He's got a good package to him, and I think that he showed that yesterday in a buzzer-beating win.
Houghton knocked down his second straight three as we got a steal from Pierre. A nice attack to the rim. It finishes easy. GTA Prep's got a full court press on. Tynes advances it.
And we got RNS alumni Will Spalding, who's now at Carleton, sitting on the second row there.
Good morning to everyone, and thank you guys for tuning in on this live broadcast. We'll have action for you all week, live on NorthPoleHoops.com. The missed three there. Tynes picks it up, moves it up to Malcolm. Pull up for three. Malcolm tries another, buries it, and then looks to the bench, looking like he's asking for AJ Lawson.
And they've both marked this in their calendar.
Well, Alex, I think you mentioned one key thing last night as we were discussing it off record. We need to allow these kids, young kids, to compete. To learn how to compete.
Themselves.
Yes.
To express themselves. As long as it's not disrespectful to the game, that's what it comes down to.
But you know, it's an energy game, and guys got to be able to build some momentum, build some energy through emotion. In my opinion, as long as it's not malicious, you got to let it play.
Absolutely. This whole game is off of energy. You look back at Charles Barkley, you look at Karl Malone, you look at Michael Jordan.
Kemp.
Even today, Gary Payton. Let's take it to today.
Lance Stevenson.
Come on, man.
He's a guy. Here's a perfect example. Lance Stevenson, a guy that, you know, some can say is arrogant or whatever you want to say about him. You know, at the end of the day, he makes plays and he's a factor in that game. He changes the way games are. I mean, he might be a little bit on the extreme side, but all we're saying is let these kids compete. Kellen Tynes brings it up. Pulls up there. Tough shot contested. No good, and GTA Prep looking to run.
And GTA is equipped with more than enough pieces here to be, you know, to be well off. They match up well with RNS. RNS, a fighting team. We've seen them time and time again. Kellen Tynes, ridiculous game last night. He was just spectacular. I loved what I saw from him.
That was DeAndre Reddick on that last made three for GTA Prep out of Nova Scotia. Reddick's an interesting prospect at 6'4", extremely athletic, and he showed his shooting touch there. A kid I'm looking forward to, you know, track throughout the season, seeing his progress. Tynes on the ball. Guarding Pierre all the way to the rim. Tough take, almost got it to go. Tynes comes up with it. Full court pressure by Pierre. To Sutherland. Yeah, it's a good call. It's a travel. We'll take a quick timeout. 17-10 is the score. GTA Prep leads Rothsay Netherwood with 3:45 left in the first quarter.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team Blue. Oh!
Let's Judy charges, throwing it down!
Welcome to the NPH live broadcasting experience. Allow our team of video technicians to capture your event in high definition. Streaming directly on all NPH media platforms. Up-to-the-minute live game coverage featuring professional commentators and analysts.
Tip in! No good! 2 seconds to go! Oh!
Commercial spots available to promote and market your brand, event, or product. Enjoy the ultimate way to catch the game when you can't.
That man from Quebec can fly!
Exposure starts here.
Yet again, a 10-point advantage restored for Team.
Rothsay Netherwood, better known as RNS, will enter its second season in the National Preparatory Association. Head coach Damian Gay will need leadership from his 4 seniors in order to continue to build on the program's solid foundation, which now has some added pieces to it. NCAA prospect Shaheem Malcolm.
Still first quarter action here. Less than 4 minutes to go. A little bit of pressure from Rothsay Netherwood. Here's Houghton on the attack. And they're going to call a charge. Great defensive possession there for RNS. Got the bench going. And those are the type of defensive plays, Elias, that I've seen a bunch from the aforementioned Notre Dame Hounds. I think they're leading, they're definitely leading this tournament in charge taking. Nice play there by RNS. And Houghton again.
Houghton hangs in mid-air. That is one of his, that's one of his traits. He can really absorb contact.
Bright future ahead for Houghton.
Member of the 2019 Canadian class. Currently a top 50 player in the nation. And as he continues to shoot that 3-ball with consistency, his stock kind of elevates.
Nice finish there by Tynes. There's a good opportunity for us to see what GTA Prep looks like without Lawson. That's about between 25 to 35 points a game. That's going to have to be made up for. Nice through pass there to the big fella RNS. No good. Good idea there by Tynes. Rebound, Izagu. Reddick. Love to see a lot more transition defense from teams. You're seeing a lot of runouts, easy buckets throughout the first couple days. Something teams are going to have to tighten up. Reddick on the line. Knocks it down. Malcolm advances it to Sully, who just checked into the game out of Newfoundland. Shout out to Newfoundland. We just got Carl English back in Canada, playing with the St. John Edge in the NBLC. Tynes showed some patience there, but no good on the finish.
Good job by DeAndre Pierre not letting that one go. He thought about making the pass ahead, but it wasn't available. There's
Houghton again. That's his third triple of the first quarter. Elias, you talked about the improvement on that 3-ball. Combine that with his freak athleticism and his strength, and you're looking at a inclining guard in the class of 219. But I view him as a mid-major, a high-major NCAA prospect, depending on how he continues to develop. He certainly has those physical capabilities to play at the highest level.
And I think it would be most suitable for him at the mid-major level, considering he is a combo guard, not a true point at that size.
No, wow, beautiful possession there. Defense, offense, Lindo And Reddick on the defensive presence. Shot blocking to Halati. Joseph Halati on the glider finish.
And if you look at the bench right now, you see AJ Lawson fully activated and cheering on his guys. It just shows the kid's character.
Absolutely.
He's a prime example of a role model for younger kids. He is so ahead of the game mentally and in his approach to the game. Now, there's obviously times where he gets to be a kid. He's 16, 17, of course.
I think that's, you know, we mic'd him up yesterday and got a chance to actually see how he reacts in situations, and that's what we want to be able to bring for the public to see, because, you know, it was pretty, you know, typically the higher level athletes, people built a perception about them about being arrogant and things of that nature.
He's nothing like that.
And I think where he kind of learns, a guy he learns from is RJ Barrett, a peer of his, same age, but #1 player in the 2018 class. Following in his footstep is surely not a bad thing.
GTA 28-12 with just under a minute to go here in the first quarter. Day 3 of the NPA battle in the capital here in Ottawa, Ontario. Sutherland gets it to go.
Big lead here, GTA Prep first quarter. Halati attacking the rim. 15 points is the deficit for RNS. Moving it to Malcolm, another triple. That would be his third. That's off the mark. 24 seconds remains in the first quarter. Five seconds remain. That would be fourth triple for Joshua Houghton. He is on fire right now, Elias, and with any closed door, another one opens. With Lawson out, Houghton has stepped it up. Coach Lawson, that is, as you see him with the notepad and clipboard. It is 31-13 to end the first quarter. GTA Prep leads Rothsay Netherwood.
Move from Toronto to New Brunswick, and the lengthy guard is sure to make a splash in his new home, while Canadian national champion Kellen Tynes continues to earn high praise as the highest level prospect out of Canada's East Coast since fellow guard and Dartmouth native Lindell Wigginton. Halifax Prep out of Nova Scotia is following in the footsteps of their maritime brethren RNS as they enter their first season in the NPA. They will be led by standout point guard Cairo Berry, who is expected to log heavy minutes as the engine of this team on both ends of the floor. Like any expansion team, growing pains are to be expected, but there is no better experience than being thrown into the NPA fire. The St. Laurent Express has a storied basketball history that they're looking to bring to the NPA. The next wave of Quebec talent includes Ben Datro, who can score in bunches from every spot of the floor and is always a threat to simply take over a game. While the man in the middle for St. Lo goes by the name of Trayvon Minot. Armed with the hard work mentality needed to clean up the mess in the paint, Minot also has the skill and soft touch to get buckets on his own. The Express boasts a roster full of...
Here we are, second quarter, 31-13. GTA Prep up big. Rothsay's got to dig deep, got to be able to get some defensive stops. Joshua Houghton was 4 for 4 from the three-point line as Shaim Malcolm cleans up his miss. And at least I'd like to see Malcolm take it up a notch. I think he's got another gear in him that I haven't yet seen, because he's got all the tools to be a takeover type of player. Nice pass there by Tynes to Malcolm.
I think a big piece of it with Shaheem Malcolm is he's got to kind of pace himself. And what I mean by that is he plays nearly every minute of every game. So he's got to be able to withstand a certain energy level throughout all the games. And that's why you might see him, slow down a little bit sometimes. But, I mean, he does have a high motor. The kid plays with a high motor. But you can't play at that speed for an entire game for multiple games.
Well, I think I agree, but I also disagree from an angle of the greats play all 40 minutes, that next level. And I think Shaheem has the capability to get to that next level. Tynes on the inbound. Nice look, beautiful feed. Oh, no good. Suli's gotta attack the rim hard there. Missed opportunity. Here comes Prep. Look at that. Got some back to the basket game. GTA Prep showing the full arsenal.
The young buck, Scotty Austin, finishing it up that time.
He's shown some signs.
And there's Tynes answering right back. Whew, pretty move by Pierre.
RNS has to do a better job of clogging up the middle. Guys are just walking through like it's a red carpet treatment.
Walking the park.
Suli, attacks right, kicks out, Tynes, pull up.
One thing I've really enjoyed, Tarek, about watching Tynes' games, he operates extremely well from the triple threat. He keeps the game simple. He reads the defenders as they're coming out on him, how they're closing out. He uses jabs effectively, he uses fakes effectively. And that's a lost art. Most guys are quick to want to put it on the deck, want to create off the dribble.
Yeah, you could tell that Tynes is a guy that he's a smooth operator. He's able to run an offense, no question. He's got the floor general's mentality as Suli pulls up. Nice move there by Suli. Got a man down. We're going to get a potential substitution here. We'll take a quick break. Oh, looks like they got their sub in. And we'll keep the ball moving here in Ottawa on the live broadcast. We'll have action for you all week. Be sure to keep it locked on NorthPoleHoops.com. 35-21, GTA Prep leads. RNS hanging in there, but they gotta be able to step up defensively. Way too open right there. Easy bucket. They are shooting it at a high clip. There's gotta be a closeout. Malcolm on the attack. Shaheem Malcolm, good on the first. A little bit of pressure from RNS. GTA Prep doesn't have a problem with it. Reddick baseline is blocked.
One guy I really liked last night for GTA, got to play a lot of point guard, Hafeen Muwalin. Seen him play with the Mississauga Monarchs over the CNIT, where he was both a scorer and a distributor. In this game, ooh, there he is, creating that offense right before the turnover. I guess I spoke too soon.
And there
Makes
you go.
up for it.
Wow. Love to
Awesome
see that.
stuff.
Right there in that possession, you saw his motor, you saw his never quit mentality.
Change of direction, man. That's what gets him free. He's got awesome change of direction with the ball in his hands. could really throw off a defender.
To 22, less than 7 minutes and a half. First one good to go for RNS. Makes both. 40 to 24. Lawson to Houghton. And right now they're in a man-to-man. Looks like there was some action down low.
16-point game here. GTA leading 40 to 24 without their star, AJ Lawson.
Tynes off the mark there.
I like that Casey was able to find Mo Allen there very quickly. You definitely want to put the ball in the hands of your best ball handler. And on the floor right now, that's Hafreen Mo Allen.
Liking what I'm seeing from Malcolm defensively. Has had to guard anywhere from 6'2 to 6'9 this week. Guarded Sammy Hunter in the last game against BC Christian. 3-ball RNS, no good. Rebound Reddick. Kick out to Houghton, full steam ahead, all the way to the rim. Good defense by Tynes.
And that's the inconsistency I'm talking about, Tark. A whole arm was taken off on Houghton on that drive right there with a ref right on the baseline. We got to be able to catch those, and that's, you know, when you talk to some...
I think that was an arguable call, though, E. I mean, I didn't see a foul there.
You got a whole arm on that one. A whole arm. I just want to see more consistency, and that's across the entire country.
I mean, I don't think you can point to that play and say that, use the consistency card, in my opinion. For me, as mentioned previously, it's more about allowing the kids to play. I think actually the referees have done a fantastic job technically, like in terms of, you know, in the game. But I'm talking about from an intangible standpoint, communication and dialogue with coaches or with players. I think that's extremely important. The worst thing, you know, that have coaches pulling out their hair is when a call is made, and this is across the board, you know, across the country. I'm not speaking just Ottawa. When a call is made and there's no explanation for it, and they deserve an explanation if they're going to be made that call. We can't have this "there will be no discussion" type of approach.
Yep. And then there's a time and place. It doesn't have to happen immediately, but at some point, give the coach that attention.
Yeah, peace of mind where it's like, okay, there was logic used here, and that's all it is. Dialogue is usually the is the medicine. We'll take a quick break. 42-26, 4:43 left in the half.
Type players that are needed to vie for a national title, and they all have that same chip on their shoulder that Quebec ballers do. Everyone needs to respect the Q. The team to beat out of the Northeast Division is the same squad the entire NPA is gunning for. Canada Top Flight Academy is the reigning, defending, and first ever high school aged national basketball champions in Canadian basketball history. Much of the same team returns to the floor this season, including a more physically mature Moon Reith, who is now a matchup nightmare, standing at 6'7" with the guard skills of a much smaller player. It will take a special squad to knock the crown off the kings of the National Preparatory Association.
Back to it. Just over 4 minutes left in the half. GTA Prep in control without the #1 player in the nation, AJ Lawson, which has been completely fine with GTA as Houghton has stepped up in a big way, along with DeAndre Reddick. The 3-ball has been flying for GTA Prep. Now, as we just mentioned off record, we got a little bit of a quote-unquote doozy coming up with BC Christian and Crestwood, the new guys on the block.
That'll be our second game of the day, and we got to see Crestwood last night in their first bit of action, and they were absolutely dominant on the defensive end. That full court press is going to work on a lot of these teams that some teams have not been able to handle pressure quite well. And BC lacking a point guard, that's a big one for them, and teams have really learned very quickly about that.
Casey Azagu, big fella on the last hit, short jumper. Really like how Casey's coming along. Especially love seeing him matched up against opposing bigs. He's got a skill set. He can be a defensive anchor at times.
You know, one thing, I remember one of the first times we saw him, Tark, he was a lot louder than what we're seeing now. And I think that in some cases, he might think that he's ahead of where he is. Like if you have something that's already playing to an advantage with you, such as being a great vocal leader on the defensive end, being a great energy guy, don't go away from that. Add to that.
And as you say that, he's directing traffic defensively. And you're right, he's got to be consistent with that. And that's what separates.
That was one of his best traits.
That's what separates good from great, is that consistency. Consistency.
And this is the other part. He's expanding his game and his skill set. But at the college level, at the pro level, if you can do one or two things extremely well and specialize in something, you can have a job. And that's what these guys got to understand. I'm not just referring to Izagu here in particular. I'm referring to multiple guys.
Nice feed there by DeAndre Pierre to the big fella. Drop off delivery. (46-26). The lead has been extended to 20 plus. Now with that one, 3:30 left in the half. Want to give a special shout out to the York University Lions. Oh my, DeAndre Reddick tries to go behind the back. I want to give a special shout out to the York U Lions as well as Eastern Florida Junior College. They were parked front row all day yesterday for a long 10-hour day, and Eastern Florida actually pulled the trigger with the first offer of the session being given, or earned I should say, by Jaron Johnson of Halifax Prep. And that's nice, a no-brainer. 20 PG right there, Elias.
No-brainer, man. That's a no-brainer. He's got some of the best vision I've seen at any class. You know, with a stronger supporting cast, I think that he could be even more effective at what he does. And hello, Houghton. He has been terrific here in this first half.
Spin cycle. That was a spin right there in transition. And a nice finish, very fluid. Sully has the answer. Elias, by the look on his face, did not like my spin cycle, but he's gonna have to live with it.
Of hissing.
Well, I mean, you interrupted me, so I had to just keep it going for consistency's sake. Talk about consistency all the time. Sully trying to show some consistency there off that time. Pick in the pocket, Tynes. That's some good offense right there for the easy bucket.
And DeAndre's got to realize if he could blow by, blow by. Don't wait for him. You could break the press on your own with your speed.
Yeah, and in elite level point guards, they are one-man press breakers. Guys that are able to take the defensive pressure and use it to the offense's advantage, because they got that speed and that confidence that if you're going to come up on me, I'm going to blow right by you and make you backpedal.
Yep. James Madison was in yesterday as well. Doing some heavy-duty recruiting up in Canada. They're looking at Keyshawn Saunders, a top 10 player in 2018, as they're looking at him very seriously. They'd love to have his services. Keyshawn deciding between a bunch of mid-majors at this point, and he'll sign in the late period.
Finally, Houghton cools off, misses his first triple of the game, 4 for 5 now from deep. Yeah, Saunders a special talent in terms of, you know, his athleticism and his versatility at guard positions. He can play either perimeter position, maybe even use him as a 3 at times. And it's only continue to improve his game. You like where he's at. And of course, you got to shout out Richard Saunders, the father, the Red Lobster connection. Always takes care of us. And we know how much you love that seafood, Elias. Or that vegan diet.
Have you had seafood? It's actually pescatarian.
Oh, I apologize. Pescatarian, I apologize.
And when you look at the 2018 class start, we talked a little bit here about Keyshawn Saunders, but the top 10 is all pretty much situated now in terms of where they're going to school. You have RJ, who's committed to Duke. Simi Shitu on the Players Tribune just announced.
Anchor down.
Yep, he's headed to Vandy. Vandy's been on him for a while, and hey, I called it.
You did call it. Now, it was a pretty easy call considering that he canceled the Kentucky visit.
Before that. Look, in situations like that.
Well, that's why you're the director of basketball recruiting. If you want to tap on the shoulder, I'll give it to you, big guy.
This is Vandy's best recruiting class ever, they're saying. This is what the American reporters are saying.
Well, Coach Drew's done a fantastic job.
Yep, absolutely. Him and Roger Powell. Roger Powell was the first from that staff into Canada. Now, when they were at Valpo, they did an awesome job there as well, doing some more recruiting in
the Montreal kids out there. Nearly gets it to go is Malcolm, who heaves the half court. But it will end on a positive note for RNS. Chipped away a little bit. 15-point game, 51-36 is your halftime score. GTA Prep leads.
I wanna fly, can you take me far away? Give me a star to reach for, tell me what it takes, and I'll go so high, my feet won't touch the ground. Just hitch my wings and pull the strings. I bought these dreams that all fall through.
The nice thing about him is he's a basketball player. There is no position defined for him. He's learning the skills. He's learning the skills of playing the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the guard at all the positions.
The last thing what makes RJ Jr. so special is that he wants to be special. He's willing to do the work to become special. He's open to learning. He has his flaws like everyone else does, but he recognizes his flaws. He knows he can keep working on them. And he's never satisfied even with his own strengths as a basketball player. So that's what makes him special.
Number 7, Barrett, Jr.
That's my boy. He never stopped seeking to amaze me. And when we were in the game, like, I could tell what he was gonna do. I was like, he's my boy. I'm gonna just let him, show out. So, but the chemistry's really good. We're roommates right now and everything. So.
I call him a professional scorer. That's definitely going to translate to the NBA game. He's relentless on getting around you and getting to the basket and getting to the foul lines. And that's what I respect about him. I'm a huge fan of his.
That's all. Okay, showtime.
RJ making the splash takes his rightful throne at number 1, and I think regardless of of class, he would have been there anyways. Maybe even #1 in North America, let alone the Canadian rankings. Was the leading scorer in the most competitive league in the world at the amateur level. At 6'7", a guy that's playing 2 and 1, that's a deadly combination.
I mean, I think the first thing with RJ is he has goals, right? He has goals that he's set out, that he's driving for. So that's always great, right? Because all you ever really have to do is continue to focus him towards the goals he set. If you're trying to achieve the things that he is, I think that he's a hard worker, he's been a consistent worker, and oh, here he comes. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah. Being #1 in the world, you know, there's no conversation about it, there's no discussion about it. But what's next for you? What are your goals?
Pretty simple, go to college and go to the NBA and be a star.
Well, Central Tech, it's the historic look, that castle feel. It's a gauntlet. You walk past and you just, whoa, you look up, and the reputation that comes with it, it has that feel, it has that effect. Being in downtown Toronto, it is what it is. You're gonna get everything, right? So all the distractions are gonna happen, all the excitement's gonna be there, any little thing happens in school, it's newsworthy because you're a downtown school, right? So we have to get past all those distractions and focus in and dial in what we're supposed to do inside this gym. Do we play with a chip? We make it so.
We're a grit and grind team. Like, we're like underdogs. So like, we play like, even though we're up 20, we play like we're down 20.
We try to break the neck of the other teams. Once we have our foot on the gas, like, we try not to let go. If you're a hard worker, if you have nothing to lose, if you're gonna put it all on the line every night, then you could come play on Central Tech.
I'm praying that they take on my personality. I got a smile and I laugh and I joke outside of the game, but inside the game, I'm yelling, I'm screaming, and I'm fierce. And that's how we're developing right now.
Stop relying on what we did in the years past or the games past. It's now, yes?
And when we get to be that, you know, tenacious group, that loud group, that aggressive group, great things happen.
That style and structure is making Central Tech a destination basketball school for players like Matthew Daves, who joined the Blues for his senior season.
I knew the coaches and I knew how their style of training was, and I thought that I'd fit in here well. It just brings up like a certain tone to how I'm doing everything. So like every single rep is more important now. Being Filipino, you know, it's a bit different. Like, people look at me a different way when I'm playing. They're not gonna see someone like me, like an Asian person, play the way that I play usually.
How do you play?
I'm in the air a long time, just to say that.
In Season 2 of the National Preparatory Association, Jeffers will look to his returning seniors to lead the team on and off the court, which also prepares them for the next level.
Me being the oldest, like, it puts like a lot of like responsibility on my back, because coach, he tells me to always watch out for the guys, make sure everyone's good. Because after I leave here, coaches in other schools, like, they look at like the kind of person you are off the court before on the court. Like, they want to know what you could do in school. They want to know what you could do like in a group of people if you're going to be communicating. All my friends like back home, they really think I've changed a lot, like, and they said it's for the better too.
Coach Jeffrey is an amazing guy. Taught me a lot because he's been coaching me since young, been watching me play growing up, playing basketball at the community center. And like, he just, you know, just been there for me. Changed me a lot because before I wasn't really doing the stuff that I need to do to go to the next level. Since I came here, I started getting the support, the help that I needed to succeed. school-wise and basketball-wise. He prepares me to be a man.
The good will follow the good, the bad will follow the bad. But if people see the good in you, they're gonna make sure and push you to that stream. Central Tech is labeled. It's no chance that I'm here trying to change that label, try to bring forward a better understanding of who it is and what the school is about.
Everyone has their story. What's yours? Were you born with the ball in your hands? Or were you a late bloomer? Are you a dead-eye shooter? Or a high flyer?
Throws up an alley-oop! All elbow! Williams!
Are you a leader? Or an elite role player? North Pole Hoops wants to know, what's your story? Second half action live from Ottawa, Ontario. Tarek and Elias Bate on the call.
Make sure you stick around for the 10:45 game. Big one, Crestwood versus BC Christian. And when I mean big one, I'm talking new team on board, really trying to make a name for themselves is Crestwood. And BC brings in some big boys across the board, 6'7" plus at 3-4 different positions. 6'9" Sammy Hunter. Sammy Hunter, a member of the 2019 class in Canada, originally from the Bahamas. And the 2018 class is just about wrapping up. The top 10 at least have all committed. Rowan Barrett to Duke, Simi Shitu to Vanderbilt, Andrew Nemhard, Florida, Lugansk Dort, Arizona State, Ignas Brzdikis, Michigan, Jalen Llewellyn at number 6 to Princeton, Noah Kirkwood to Harvard, Eze Dike to Yale, and Jashawn Henry, who's here at this event and at number 9 of Notre Dame, is the only one from the top 10 not committed yet. Now, big part of that is he's a sleeper. Coaches are in today to see what Jashawn Henry is all about. Delano Banton caps off the top 10, committing to Western Kentucky.
He reclassified to 2018 from 19, which has Casey on the outside looking in. Casey Izagwu here for GTA Prep. Outside looking in of the top 10, but if you look at this 2018 class, it's got a lot of depth and there's a lot of Division I talent still available for coaches looking to fill those rosters with some winners.
I think Nudie Georges from Montreal is one of the biggest sleepers that there is. He's playing at Dawson College, and he's a guy that can light it up from distance and play full court pressure that's going to really have a lot of PGs and shackles. That's just one example of the amount of sleepers, and every year that's the case. You know, you have Dew Moses, who's originally from Calgary, who's playing at TBA this season. He's another one of those 2018s that could potentially be Division I or a high caliber U Sports.
Lots of action in Alberta, lots of kids that we're looking to identify who will be in Alberta in the spring for the Swoosh tournament. Coach Ron Hopkins bringing this out to Edmonton as Shaim Malcolm knocks down the triple. Need more of Shaim Malcolm. I want him to approach this game like somebody stop me, because when he's active offensively, you know, he's in a great position, and so is RNS. Nice finish there, showing that touch for the big fella. And that's the thing, at least with Casey. He's got a really nice feel around the rim.
Soft touch, yeah, he gets it done around the rim.
And his footwork has been improving. Malcolm, another triple off that time. Eastern Florida, Tom Parks, Coach Tom Parks just walks into the building. Also have Humber College in the building. Coach Patrick looking for some talent out here. Humber Hawks, a perennial powerhouse in the CCAA Canadian college system. They are annually a threat and contender for the national championship. Reddick all the way. 16-point ball game, Elias. You think does RNS have the juice to get through? This would be a nice W for them if they could.
And they refuse to go away. Just a 14-point game, 57-43 in favor of GTA Prep. GTA's had different pieces playing the point and bringing up the ball for them, setting up the offense. There's Ezagu, stronger take than usual on that one.
Also want to shout out the University of Toronto, Coach Mike DeGiorgio watching the live broadcast as Casey Ezagu erases that last possession.
Talk about a pin, that's a true pin right there.
Reddick on the reversal. We talked about specialists. That's one thing that will transfer to the next level, no question. Casey will be, at the very minimum, a high-level rebounder, shot blocker for the Division I program that gets his services. And right now, he currently holds an offer from Western Michigan. Has anything else come up so far?
There's a lot of interest for him at the mid-major level. I know that he's got ambition of playing at the highest. I think that, you know, that's going to come down to it being a family decision. But think about it this way. If you're 2018 and high majors have not offered you by this time or have not shown interest, guess what? You might be at the level that, you know, that is the most suitable for you, which is at the mids, who are interested and who are offering. Now, I'm not saying that they won't take a chance on him at the highs. He's at the end of the day, he's 6'10", and like you always tell me, Tarek, there's very few of those guys out there. But a true 6'10" high major guy against these type of teams is finishing with authority. He's grabbing the rebound, coming down with it, and finishing with bangers. He's affecting the game in more ways.
Well, I try not to get caught up in the whole high major, mid major, low. I know it's a lingo, it's a recruiting language.
It's part of my job, so excuse me, I got to talk in that language. So
are you arguing with me right now?
No. I'm just saying. I'm saying excuse me because I have to talk in that language.
Well, no problem. That being said, you know, as we know, it's all about the right fit. Whether that's at the low or the high, wherever he's going, he's got to be in a position where he's going to get some playing time or have an opportunity to compete for some playing time. And at the same time, development is extremely important with him because he's still a developing big man, a raw big man.
I love the fact that you said you put development above anything, and I would agree with you. Now, going to the highest of levels, you're not going to get a chance to develop as quickly being on the bench, but playing some minutes right off the bat as you enter college and smoothly transitioning is what's going to help you develop. It's all about reps. You got to be able to get real live game reps in.
One example I always point to from the Canadian big man standpoint is Andrew Nicholson. Andrew Nicholson does not end up in the NBA had he not gone to St. Bonaventure. You know, he dominated the A-10, which is a very, very strong conference, and every year he added something. He was a 4-year college player. Every year he added something to his game.
And to go opposite of that, look at someone like Matthew Attaway, who originally committed to Auburn. Probably wasn't ready for that level immediately. And
he wasn't. That showed.
And today he ends up at Pepperdine, and we're hoping that he's going to have an excellent senior season at Pepperdine in a post-grad year.
Great kid, very mature kid, and you know, one of the personalities I remember, you know, coming out of high school. He had a really good personality and really good character. 61-43, GTA Prep still in full control here with less than 6 minutes in the third quarter. Tynes, triple. knock it down. Tynes, Malcolm, got to stay in attack mode, aggressive on both ends of the floor. They will go, and RNS will go as far as they take them. A little bit of pressure from GTA Prep. Very poised this time, doesn't get rattled. Nice feed there for the big fella. Kick out, Sully. 8 seconds on the shot clock to Malcolm. On the attack, all the way to the rim. Is foul, tripped up. And a good call by the referees. And again, I do want to say that the referees, I think, have done a good job of calling it from a technical standpoint, you know. I just want to make sure that, you know, people don't think we're just throwing people under the bus. You know, we just want to make sure that at the end of the day, these kids are getting the very best treatment and respecting the game. Here we are from Ottawa, Ontario, battling the capital, 63-46. Nice play right there by Pierre to Reddick. Here's Malcolm setting up the table. Screen, roll, and definitely a charge there. Big fella was out of control for Rothsay Netherwood. That was Ben Dowell, 2019, 6'9". They did not have that size last year, and he's going to be a project to come along, but he's got another year to get better. Houghton attacks the gap all the way to the rim. Houghton swings it around. Pierre pulls up from 3. Zagu with the rebound, but is fouled.
And off that screen and roll, Pierre thought about getting it to Zagu, but the angle wasn't quite there.
He's supposed to be strong. Let him be strong.
Here's Zagu about to put up his first.
Tick-tack foul there, unnecessary. Reddick gets his hand caught in the cookie jar.
Last one wasn't on me.
Ryan McLean been one of the top three-point shooters in the league to start the season. That corner 3 ball, a special spot for him.
Just picking up where he left off last season. Houghton to the rim.
Again, you see him contort his body there and adjust in midair to finish on the left side.
Nice move there by McLean. Pulls up. Looking like he's improved his handle over the year, handling pressure. And RNS asked for a timeout as the lead is now gotten back to 20 plus. 23 to be exact. 3:30 left in the third quarter. And we'll be back.
British Columbia Christian Prep brings the most international flavor of any team in the National Preparatory Association, and with that comes an air of mystery surrounding this team. Veteran head coach Doug Dowell returns many of last year's players, which will give him a rotation of highly skilled players with prep experience already under their belt. Team leader and NCAA prospect Marijan Obad is expected to star on the West Coast this season, and he's joined on the front line by fellow big man Sammy Hunter from the Bahamas. Hunter spent his summer playing with the national team of his homeland and also took part in the NBA's Basketball Without Borders, collecting NCAA offers from coaches who love his skill in the paint. The Panthers have added even more depth with young players from across the globe looking to leave their mark on the Canadian basketball landscape, and there's no better place than the NPA. The Notre Dame Hounds out of Wilcox, Saskatchewan quickly went from underdogs to up-and-comers in the NPA's debut season, and they continue to trend upwards thanks to their roster's evolution. Carter Kahinka is a prototypical stretch 5.
Third quarter, 3:30, 69-46. Sully with it for RNS. Floater off the mark there. Here's Casey Azagu, who often tries to start the break. Hasn't done a bad job of it.
You just don't want him to fall in love with it. His ball handling's actually improved. You just don't want him to get too excited and let the guards handle that responsibility.
You saw him going in and out behind the back yesterday, and it got the bench amped. Too easy. There's way too many easy buckets in transition being had for GTA Prep. If RNS wants any shot at keeping this game competitive, they gotta stop the break. Tynes from deep. They needed that one. Once again, just as a footnote, GTA Prep, without the services of the #1 player in the nation, AJ Lawson,
and still getting it done. That's what shows the depth on this squad. A lot of these guys, Tarek, under the radar.
My young guy, Cam Harris, really love his energy. He's one of the youngest players on the floor, only a freshman. And he's been a part of that GTA Prep program since last year, developing nicely. He's got a body of a senior, but as his skill set develops, he's going to be a load for years to come.
We had good size for position for the youngster. Already a scoring threat from various places on the floor. .24 game here as the third quarter winds down, a minute 37 to go. GTA ahead. And just to give you a rundown of what the rest of today looks like, followed by this game we'll have Crestwood and BC Christian out of British Columbia. At 12:15, London Basketball Academy takes on the Notre Dame Hounds from Wilcox, Saskatchewan. Then we get some East Coast flavor with Halifax Prep taking on a new member to the league, SJK, out of that Kitchener-Waterloo area.
Here's Cam Harris with the rebound, trying to go full court. Oh,
nice
a little bit of Rajon Rondo. A little bit of Rajon Rondo with the behind the back fake, Elias. A little bit of Elias Spate right there.
That was
I've seen
the
you
signature.
do that a couple times.
That's my signature, man.
To be fair, the behind the back pass was your signature. But that, you know, Cam Harris, freshman, the confidence to pull that off there. I like it. I like it.
Good job by Pierre keeping it.
Asking for up top, Cameron Harris, but Houghton sneaks right in.
He was asking for an alley-oop.
Yes,
I've never seen that. Does he even have that?
I think he does. I don't think he'd ask for it if he didn't have it. But then again, he is a freshman, so who knows? Who knows?
I do like Cam a lot, though, man. I love his personality.
Yes, I was just about to say that. Put the words out of my mouth. You just look at him. He loves the game. Some more Rondo
with the
here.
fake.
They're just
here we go.
They're just
that is a U sport under the radar guy. Coaches need to be on a kid like that. That is a pure point right there.
But anyways, I want to credit Coach Cooper and that GTA program. They practice those moves every single day.
No,
they're up in the morning.
One of the best development systems. You look at all of their players across the board. Literally, this entire roster, every single player has improved.
Bigger, better, stronger.
Yep.
Game speaks. Here we go. We're going to take a break. Final quarter, 81-53, GTA Prep in full control.
Added to his inside game, while Saskatchewan native Cole Newkirk will also be banging bodies in the paint, looking to make an impact in his senior season. But the most intrigue surrounds the Hounds duo of Jashawn Henry and Adafalaran Adedigan, better known as Fofo. Both players are supreme athletes that are now taking the step to become next-level basketball players. Both Henry and Fofo decided to stay at home in favor of two-a-day workouts instead of the travel-heavy schedule of the AAU grind. The results will be seen in their physical transformations as they both continue to work towards their goal of an NCAA scholarship. Could this be the perfect storm for promising young head coach Adam Huffman to shock the country with a national title? Stay tuned to the NPA to find out. Division 6 has a new member in the courtyard, with Roe Russell bringing Crestwood Prep onto the scene with the type of big-time talent you would expect with top players from every upcoming class. That includes Jacoby Neath, a shifty and athletic guard who is a treat to watch and is firmly entrenched in the top 5 of the class of 2019.
The fourth and final quarter, GTA Prep owning this game right now. I like to see RNS step up the intensity. If you want it, you gotta take it. Out of bounds call there for the youngster. Number 7, Vegas Evans, class of 2022, along with Cameron Harris. This is going to be great for him. It's going to be really nice to see where Vegas ends up a couple years from now. As he grows, he gets better, stronger, improves on his skill set. But this experience for him right now is really a big part of his development moving forward.
And he's getting a lot of confidence by playing with these guys. You see, he's not even hesitating to shoot it.
And his team is definitely giving him that confidence. Another one. All the way to the rim this time. Trying to get it to go. I love the camaraderie.
And Tarek, I don't know if it's fair to say this yet, but in my opinion, number 4 for GTA Prep, Mowallen is one of the best ball handlers we got in this league. When you talk about a guy that can create space and separate from the defender, I haven't seen a lot of guys that could do it better.
Pretty heavy on this kid, eh?
I
haven't seen enough of him yet to say that, but
he's a definite U Sport caliber point guard and a very good one. Do you remember Miles Jarvis? He's coming out this year, 2018.
Okay.
Do you remember Miles Jarvis coming out of high school? Very similar.
Miles is bigger.
Okay, maybe a slightly bigger in size. He's about 5'10".
Okay.
There he is again.
Evans with another try this time. 0 for 3 right now, but as soon as he gets that first one to go, we're going to hear some fireworks from that bench. I love the confidence. You know, he's not hesitating.
Look at this. Look at this defense by Mowallen too. Yes, I am high on him, and I'm going to be making some calls for that kid immediately after this game.
Alrighty then. Elias has spoken. Pierre, stroll in the park. Sully from 3. He's been a little quiet. been 20-point deficit plus for much of this ball game. And GTA Prep really impressing considering they're playing without the #1 player in the nation, and give an opportunity for others to step up. That they've done.
Harris a little rushed on that 3-ball, could have faked and went baseline. Here's Sutherland, unable to get it done. Tynes has just been feeding these guys right on target. Pierre walking the park.
6:30 left in the game. Timeout RNS. They want to talk it over. There will be some choice words from Coach Damien Gay, no question.
Roster full of young blood with tons of potential, Crestwood Prep will be a team to watch in their expansion season in the NPA. One of last year's heavyweights of the Southeast Division was the Toronto Basketball Academy, who will look to continue their winning ways with their trademark run-and-gun style. Known for their length and athleticism, TBA graduated some of their stars from last season, but they have talent waiting in the wings. As fan favorite Cordell Vera exits the stage, in steps Marcus Masters, a high IQ point guard that can also shoot out the lights. While the loss of Jace Colley will be filled by the reliable Patrick Emlin and Amir Golizadeh, two key players from last year's squad who have been waiting for their time to shine. TBA is all about highly skilled, interchangeable players that give this team the type of depth that will pose problems for all of their opponents.
Lyon McLean with the ball up top for RNS, who are looking for something. They're looking for their first win still of the week. Entered in at 2-0 on the season. Picked up 2 victories over Halifax Prep. Have lost to this being their 3rd game of the week, moving them to 2-2 on the season. Jackie Woogar and Cameron Harris on the attack behind the back. Looked like Cameron Harris trying to put on a show early. Pull-up game, your boy, knockdown.
There is Mo Allen, and he's showing that he's not just a ball handler. And look at that, now he's playing some defense.
Oh, wow.
This guy is earning himself some major minutes in the next game.
That's good effort right there. Three-ball, still waiting on that 3-ball for Vegas Evans. Big fella trying to get some work done for RNS, can't get it to go. Allen. Over to Hilati, to Evans, Harris for the 3. Off the mark. 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Big block by Cameron Harris. You know, we talk about him as a freshman, as a 2022, but he doesn't play like it. You know, he just plays. Doesn't really care about the age difference. Just competes at a high level. We first saw him at the Junior NPA Showcase 2 years back. That camp included the likes of Moon Reith, Cordell Charles. You know, it was loaded with talent across the board.
Yeah, and with a kid like Harris, you know, he's at a stage right now where he doesn't have a true position yet, and that actually plays in his favor because he's just a baller. You could slide him in, you know, between 2 and against some undersized 4s, and he'll get it done.
Well, I remember him when, you know, as a 7th, 8th grader, he looked more like just an early bloomer big. You know, he was about 6 foot, so 6'1", So he's one of the taller kids as an 8th grader, but what I've seen him is develop his body. He's now starting to look a little bit more like a guard and move like a guard.
Yeah, he had a heavier base to really move around with back in the day, and he's trimmed down quite a bit.
Look at him, off the dribble, spin moves. You know, I think he's just experimenting on the floor, like, you know, just doing different things and trying to put on a little bit of a show. As a youngster, you know, any opportunity you have to come in, you're just chopping at the bit. And again, he's just a kind of a reflection of his personality. He's got a big personality and a really great kid. Lots of breakout plays, breakout performers. You know, another one that kind of woke everyone up last night was Amara Ba of Canada Top Flight Academy.
That came out of nowhere. I couldn't believe, like, first of all, he's a new player to me. I've only seen him once with Sun Youth in Montreal. And then second, I didn't know that he had that kind of leaping ability. He just came down the lane and dunked on everybody.
Out of Montreal. A sleeper in this 2018 class. I was not sure where we got him ranked, but we definitely have an asterisk around him, or excuse me, a star around him to really make sure that after this week is over, we need to review and re-up here, seeing what's what in the class of 2018.
Whew. Sweet move, man. I'm really high on this kid, Tarek. I know you've mentioned it and you've said it already, but Mo Allen's been super impressive to me.
Coming up next, we got Crestwood versus BC Christian. Crestwood looking to take names. A no mercy type of team. They're wanting to make their mark here in this league pretty quickly. A newcomer to the league expansion program out of Toronto. (90-65), 3 minutes to go before we see those Crestwood Lions in action against a BC Christian squad, Elias, that I thought did a much better job yesterday. Although they lost to the national champs by 20, they did a much better job in game 2. It was night and day in terms of energy level between game 1 and game 2.
Yeah, I think they're still building their chemistry. They're still learning how to gel, having so many wings on the floor at the same time. You got about 3 or 4 guys that could all play the same position, so just figuring it out. There's Vegas from the corner again. Money from Vegas.
I like it, Elias. I like your analogies. I like your wordplay. You're stepping up your game right now, and so was Vegas Evans.
Wrapping up here in the last 2.5 minutes. Big lead for GTA Prep, and they've maintained it all the way through. 93-65. A lot of guys getting some PT here that in other games they may have not. A chance to really get a groove in and build chemistry amongst other teammates while experimenting everything that they've been working on. Good looking shot and a very good possession for RNS.
Jackie Wu on the board.
And Jackie's an elite student.
Oh yeah.
Above a 90% academic average in one of the best academic institutions in Canada,
Kid's a
at
genius.
Rothsay Netherwood. He'll go on to be a leader in some realm of business or lead a team in some way.
It could be the next Steve Jobs. Or the next. That's the thing about it, like, we talk about basketball all the time, but what we love about this league and learning about all these coaches is how much they care about changing these kids' lives through sport. You know, a lot of these kids are going to have relationships with their team and go back 10 years from now as a step back jumper from Joseph Alati. Excuse me, I think that's the younger brother of Joseph Alati. That's Mitchell Alati. All right.
Starting to look like him a little more. Joseph a little more girthy though.
I like where Mitchell is at right now, you know, at 6'5", being able to knock down that 3 ball. He's got a pretty good frame on him. Obviously has to get stronger, but 2020 class, Elias. Can't sleep on him. Scotty Austin looking for a foul there. 30 seconds
just
left.
Slipped up.
And that will be it. 95-71 is your final score of the morning breakfast game. Coming up next, Crestwood Prep, BC Christian, about to do work.